Hello, good day to each and every one of us. Today, our group will be discussing a new topic as you can see on screen. It will be The Art of War by Sun Tzu. But before that, let me introduce to you our team. First, we have Ms. Abanico Jamela, Ms. Hannah Kwambot, Mr. Rondina Jarek, and of course, Ms. Shinaro Salgarino. And you will be meeting them very soon. So now we are done with the introduction. Let me introduce to you our first reporter, Mr. Rondina Jarek, and he will be discussing about the author.
So we will proceed to the author's background. Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is an ancient Chinese general, military strategist, philosopher, and a writer. He is also an author of The Art of War, the earliest known treatise, war, and military strategy. He lived during the Eastern Zhou period in ancient China on 770 to 476 BC. Strategists focus on alternatives to direct battle, such as spies, alliances, deception, and stratagem. He emphasized understanding the enemy and using intelligence for advantage. He influenced Western and East Asian philosophy and military thinking, served as a general and strategist for Qin. Helu of Wu. He achieved numerous victories in battle. He died around 496 BC in Gusu at the age of 47 or 48. The art of war remains widely read and studied in military and other fields, continues to be influential and relevant in contemporary competitive endeavors.
Good day, everyone. Today we'll be diving into an exciting topic that interweaves history, strategy, culture, and leadership. We're going to explore the life of a notable figure in Chinese history, Sun Tzu, and understand the cultural values that form the backbone of Chinese society. Sun Tzu, a revered figure in Chinese history, was a military strategist and a writer who lived during the Eastern Zhou period. His contributions to military strategy are still recognized today, most notably through his work, The Art of War. So this book is not just a military treatise, but also a profound piece of literature that has influenced various fields, including business, politics, and legal strategy. Now, to fully appreciate Sun Tzu's wisdom, we must understand the cultural context in which he lived. Chinese culture, deeply rooted in history and tradition, places a high value in harmony, respect for authority, and maintaining social order. Communication within this culture often relies on nonverbal cues, making it subtly complex. Honesty is also highly valued, reflecting the importance of integrity in personal and professional relationships. Traditional Chinese values emphasize collectivism over individualism, stressing the importance of the collective good and the role of the individual within the group. Family values are paramount, with respect for elders and ancestors being a key aspect. The pursuit of knowledge is also a significant value, reflecting the importance of education and wisdom in Chinese society. When it comes to leadership, Chinese culture often emphasizes a hierarchical and collectivist approach. Leaders are expected to command respect and maintain order, while followers are expected to show deference and comply with established norms. However, it is important to note that China is a diverse country with regional variations in values and behaviors. So what we've discussed today provides a general overview, but remember, every individual and community may have their unique interpretations and practices of these cultural values. So I hope these discussions have given you a deeper understanding of Chinese culture and its historical figures.
So let's proceed to the vocabulary. First, we have the treatise, a detailed written study on a specific subject. A treatise is like a very detailed book that focuses on a specific topic. It is written by someone who is an expert in that subject and covers the topic extensively, providing deep analysis and explanation. Second, we have the terrain, the physical features of a piece of land. It describes the topography or landscape of a specific area, such as mountain, valleys, plain, forest, or bodies of water. Next, we have the complacency, self-satisfaction without awareness of potential dangers. It refers to a feeling of being overly comfortable or satisfied with one's current situation, often leading to a lack of motivation. So last, we have the deception. It is an act or statement that misleads, hides the truth, or promotes a belief, concept, or idea that is not true. So, deception can take various forms, such as lying, concealing the truth, or manipulating facts to mislead someone. It is often used to gain an advantage, avoid consequences, or manipulate situation for personal gain.
So now, without further ado, let us now talk about the art of war. So the art of war provides timeless wisdom on strategy, leadership, and conflict that remains relevant in various domains beyond the military. Its insights to human nature, the dynamics of power, and the importance of careful planning to continue to resonate with readers centuries after it was written. So originally, this is a book with 13 chapters. Now, today we will be discussing the main concepts or the main ideas of what the book is all about. So now get yourselves ready as we now delve into today's topic. So first we have knowledge is power. So Sun Tzu emphasizes that the decision to go to war should not be taken lightly due to its social and economic costs. Non-violent strategies should be pursued whenever possible, as war can lead to destruction of a country. If war is necessary, calculations based on the moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, and the method and discipline should be considered. Why? If everyone has the same moral code, we will follow a cause because we believe in it. At an extreme end, one can see in these militant groups such as the ISIS and the Boko Haram. If we don't believe in what we are fighting for or the project we are working on, there will be no motivation to put ourselves at risk. Heaven then relates to factors such as night and day and the seasons. For examples, many battles have been lost because of insufficient knowledge about extreme weather conditions. Next, Earth accounts for the terrain on which you are fighting, and in contemporary times, this can be extended to the internet and digital space. The commander is the person who upholds the values of the fight and provides wisdom and guidance to everyone beneath them. If leadership is weak or ineffectual, then failure is imminent. Finally, discipline and method that everyone knows the role and works for the entire team's benefit. Factors such as belief in cause, knowledge of the environment, and effective leadership, discipline, and training play crucial roles in determining the outcome of a battle. Sun Tzu also highlights the importance of deception and knowledge as sources of power in warfare. Being prepared, understanding oneself, and the opponent of critically evaluating strengths and weaknesses are key to achieving success. Furthermore, Sun Tzu says that all warfare is based on deception. The famous World War II says, "Careless talk costs lives," applies here because knowledge is power. The idea is to seem unprepared, pretend to be in a state of chaos, and ill-disciplined, irritate your opponents, and in doing so, find out where their weaknesses are, appear to be resting when you are training, and never let on that you are in a state of constant preparedness. Now let us now move on to our second concept, in which Sun Tzu explains, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. An example is given of Mark Zuckerberg. how he failed to attempt to acquire Snapchat, where the founders of Snapchat stood their ground and embraced the principles of knowing their enemy. The story highlights the importance of understanding the enemy's strengths and weaknesses and finding ways to defeat them without causing unnecessary destruction. It is crucial to choose battles wisely and prioritize recapturing over destroying. So, have you ever heard of the old proverb, softly, softly, catching a monkey? So, it is the saying that means to approach a task or situation with patience, gentleness, and rather with force or haste. It's often used to emphasize the effectiveness of a calm and methodical approach, especially when dealing with difficult or delicate matters. The proverb suggests that sometimes taking things slowly and carefully can lead to better results than rushing or being too aggressive. Battle and warfare are both waiting patiently for opportunities to arise. Often, we win because our opponent makes a mistake, so the idea is to defend until opportunity strikes. Sun Tzu says, security against defeat implies defensive tactics. Ability to defeat the enemy means taking the offensive. What's more, avoid the enemy's strengths and look for the weaknesses instead.
Knowing your faults and weaknesses will allow you to vary and modify your tactics. One of the critical pieces of wisdom here is that the general who thoroughly understands the advantages that accompany variation of tactics knows how to handle his troops. Being prepared for war means being in a permanent state of readiness and always having a series of plans to preempt an attack. So, recognizing the advantages of changing tactics enables a leader to effectively manage their troops. Being prepared for battle requires continual readiness and a range of plans to anticipate and prevent attacks. Thank you. Know your terrain. Having an extensive knowledge about our environment allows us to act on the element of surprise, set up ambushes and traps, and strike when our enemies are complacent or caught off guard. Sun Tzu explained, when the enemy is close at hand and remains quiet, he is relying on the natural strength of his position. So, knowing the terrain allows us for surprise attacks, ambushes, and exploiting energy complacency. Sun Tzu's quote highlights that when the energy is silent and nearby, they rely on their position strength, and understanding the terrain helps exploit enemies' weaknesses, launch surprise and attacks, and use deception effectively. Knowledge is people. The only way to obtain this type of knowledge is to use spies, and here Sun Tzu differentiate between local spies, inward spies, converted spies, and doomed spies, and surviving spies. When one has a well-coordinated network of spies, this is referred to as a divine manipulation of the threats, and one should never underestimate its power. So using spies, including local, inside, change, doom, and surviving spies, gives an important knowledge. And a well-organized spy network is a strong tool called a divine manipulation of the threats by Sun Tzu. And we all know that a divine manipulation refers to the power to manipulate, right? So, showing its significant influence, not realizing the power of spying, is a big mistake.
And that's it for today's discussion. I hope you learned something and you'll be able to apply these tactics and techniques in your everyday life. And that will be all. And Group 13 is now signing off.